Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribe flag and one Quick to See Smith art dedication here in the Sophie Moise room. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming. This is a huge honor to have you all here to give us your time and effort. And thank you to all the folks who've come to listen in. My name is Josh Slotnick. I'm the current chair of the Missoula County Board of County Commissioners. My other fellow two commissioners are right here, Juanita Vero and Dave Strohmeyer. So I'm going to tell you for a moment here how this is all going to go down, and then I've got super brief remarks, and then Dave will speak. So Dave will introduce the events, then Chairwoman Shelley Fyant will share a few thoughts. The dedication will be by Tony Incashola. We have some drummers and some music. We'll have a message from Senator Tester, a message from Senator Daines, and then Juanita will speak to the art of one Quick to See Smith. And then Dave will close us out. So that's how it's going to go. I thought a lot about my 90-second opening remarks here, and I struggled with trying to hold some pretty hard truths in my head and heart about where I live, the place that I love, Missoula County and the United States. It's rough to reconcile that all we have came as the result of stolen land and stolen labor. It's a tough irony to grapple with the fact that the core values of our country, that all people are created equally, and that we all are endowed with inalienable rights, that these values were perfected by those who were left out more than those who crafted them in the first place. I say all this in this public space because public spaces are educational spaces, and we're about to make a powerful statement in this space that will provide education to anyone who comes here. And education is the first step towards taking all the might of our modern world and pushing it towards justice. With that, it's an unmeasurable honor to have you all here. And now I'm going to pass it off to my friend Dave, who can introduce what's about to happen.
Thank you all for joining us today. I am Dave Strohmeyer, one of the Missoula County Commissioners, and extremely honored to share this space with you this afternoon. Missoula County is in Indian country. For too long and for too often, we who occupy these shared spaces and who call this place home forget the lineage and the heritage of the spaces that we occupy. In times like this, when we are in an election season, it's far too often the case that we hear folks boasting about how many generations they have lived in a specific place. Second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe sixth generation, but it's all something that pales into comparison with the deep history of this place and the recognition of the fact that the land upon which we stand today has been occupied by peoples for generation upon generation, going back into time immemorial. From the receding waters of Lake Missoula, this place has been occupied. So when I took office on the Missoula Board of County Commissioners a number of years back, it struck me that the streets around the courthouse are named after either species of trees or founders of Missoula or presidents of the United States, yet they're in the very places that we reside, no tangible named recognition of the heritage that has resided upon these landscapes for generations upon generations. So with gratitude to some of my other commissioners here in Missoula County, a number of years back, we took some steps to try to recognize the place that we live, and we worked with the Culture Committee in St. Ignatius to come to a name of this room to recognize that this place is more than just the names of 19th century settlers. So that is why this is now named the Sophie Moise Room, to recognize the contributions of Sophie Moise as a leader, as a tribal leader who came to this place to harvest bitterroot with her people and was a great leader. In keeping with that same theme, there's much more that we need to do, both symbolically but also tangibly, in terms of solidifying our relations. We as a government, Missoula County, the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes as a sovereign nation, share government-to-government relations, something else that is far too often, I think, forgotten by local governments across Indian country here in the state of Montana, and is something that right here, right now, today, in Missoula, Montana, we want to take a tangible step to rectify by the dedication of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai flag within this chamber. So it's with that I have the great honor of introducing and providing the opportunity to say a few words to the CSKT Tribal Chairwoman, Shelley Fayant.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming here today to witness this historic event. It really makes my heart happy to be here and to see this room filled. And we truly appreciate the relationship that we have with Missoula County Commissioners. We know that relationships of any kind take work, and I believe that we and our predecessors have put in both time and effort toward establishing and maintaining that relationship. And this has led to a real deeper understanding by the commissioners of our past, sometimes that dark history of what happened to Salish people on these lands. And what Missoula County Commissioners have done several times, and especially through this flag ceremony, is a continuing realization towards reconciliation. And just the mere acknowledgement of those times as truth, we really appreciate that. And as tribal people, I think I can speak for everyone, that we deeply appreciate those actions. This is an amazingly refreshing example of what other county commissioners across the whole state of Montana could do. And I hope that they take notice of and reflect upon. This is a model towards gaining a deeper understanding and true appreciation of who we as Native people really are. Putting up our tribal flag means that you respect and honor our sovereignty as a nation. And when we see our flag in this building, or the Missoula County Public Schools, or the University of Montana, it really bestows great honor and respect upon us as a tribal nation as a whole, and us as individuals. It makes us feel at home, and it makes us feel welcome. So I just wanted to thank the Missoula County Commissioners for their deeply heartwarming and thoughtful gesture today. Lemlemch, on behalf of the Salish, Kalispa, and Kasanka people, thank you.
All right, at this time, I'd like to post the colors. Thank you. At this time, I will say an opening prayer, and I ask each and every one of you to join me in your way in a prayer for ourselves, for our families, for our leaders, for our parents, grandparents, our ancestors, and for the country that we live in. We have so many things to be thankful for as a people here in this continent. And let's think about all those as we, in our own way, join me in a prayer. Looking kulentsoten kus konstenim et hwatlukhulasia tlukhulisen kusqali tlukhultet sqali wasia kesol kushishut kesmay li tokhlu kekskod tokekskotpa tlukhulasia tlukhul kesfsikwlt luputitsnanas wal shayu yatlwa kesqoilmi keskodi tlukhul shay luputitas tkulchiyat tukesfsikwlt Kumei toch lukekskod I toch lukekskotpa tlukhulasia kes lemtem yet hwalutit sqadik kes lawes kes kuli khulqen bele kmet epistek me ho yumkel kusum twasia luke sqadik sia lutel tel sqadik khwa kmek chui lukek saimtem we lukhulasia what shay you kes kodi kes chinchnim khulasia kmek kesaun lutel khwalu Kun kudan tuten lukes chuchao lukhulasia lukele yetkhwa utluasia lukep iphotu putis stadel esol shit khosn qodmis shay lukeks chuchao yetkhwa yamelemch All right. Thank you all again for coming here to join us and to in this great day, another great part, another chapter, part of a chapter in our lives as community people, as Montana people, as Americans, as Native Americans. We want to honor, and I want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you to the commissioners. Thank you to the city of Missoula and to the county for getting to a point to where we are today, working together, getting to the same page and realizing that as a people, we all want the same thing. A peaceful place to live, a peaceful place to bring up our children, a peaceful place for people to come and not be afraid. We ask our Creator for many things in our prayers, but we as a people have to continue to strive towards those goals. I asked in a prayer that someday that we all be one. We will all be one people. Not to say that we're all going to be alike, but to be one people and on one heart with the same goals and the same understandings. And we have come a long way as a people, as a community, as commissioners, as a tribe. When you look back, and during that period of time, there has nothing but good has come out of it. A better understanding, a better life, and more efforts in the same direction. You know, although it's good to be different, it's good to be, you know, we don't want to all be the same, look alike, because we'd be awful boring. We're different for a purpose. We all have those different responsibilities that we need to care for. We were given, each one of us given that responsibility, first within our own families, then with our own communities, and now with the nation. We all have a gift. It doesn't matter who you are. We all have a gift. And that gift gives us that responsibility to prepare for the next generation. And when we grow up, that is the main issue, the main things that has been taught to us, is that what we do today is not for us, it's for the next generation. Always for the generation, 7 generations. So today, we are honoring, dedicating a symbol of all of that, of all the people, all that it stands for. We all have symbols, regardless of what culture, what country. There's a symbol that represents us. We create symbols that tell our stories the best. Today, the Confederated Kootenai Tribes, the Flathead Nation, the red flag up here you see on my left. If you look closer to it, on it, you'll see what's on there, the symbols that are on there. It's at a disc, it looked like a disc on there, which represents the shield for protection. Protecting our people, our way of life. You see the bow and the arrow, a symbol of a warrior, of hunting tools, many things. You'll see the Rocky Mountains representing the homeland of the Salish, Kalispel, Kootenai people. You'll see feathers on there that represents generations of Native people. Those are some of the simple things that are on the flag that represent thousands of years of life. All flags throughout this country represent and they have their own stories. The United States flag, the red, white, and blue, we all know what those 13 stripes, those blue and white stripes on it, the stars, they mean many things to many people. The stars represent the states of this country. But to me, it represents something different. Being a veteran, as I look at those stars every time I stand up to honor the flag, I see in those stars all of those people that served, all of those people that gave their lives so that we can be here today, so that we can be who we are. We live in a free country. We live in a place what is our way and our home. So when you look at a flag, it has its own story, many stories. And to me, like I said, that's what it means. Every star represents someone. In our creation stories, we have creation stories about the stars. It in itself has many, many stories and reasons for being there. So, as we honor and dedicate, let's think about those that created it, that made those things possible for us here today. And I want to thank again all of those that made this day possible. And I only hope that we can continue moving forward in the same direction. We all know that separate, individually, we can't succeed. But as a group, as partners, as one, we can accomplish many things. We can overcome those obstacles that are surely going to be there every day. And so I want to thank again all of you for coming here today and helping dedicate this flag on the homeland of the Salish, Kalispel, and Kootenai people. This area is one of the richest areas of food gathering. This area was the beginning of a settlement. This area still holds the bones, the footprints, and the stories of our ancestors. As long as we keep their stories alive, we will never forget them. They will never go away. And that holds true to all cultures. All cultures were given their own value system, their own language. Everything they have, we have. Everything we have, we're also given to other cultures. How we take care of them, it's up to us. How we protect them for the next generation is up to us. And so with that, I've been known to go on and on here, so I better shut up here. Again, I want to thank you. I want to thank the drum group for always being there, backing me up. Their songs come from the environment that we live in. Their stories come from the environment we live in. The drumsticks are all part of where we come from. They were all gifts to us as people. I always say, and I always tell people to remember, did you ever think when you got here, how we got here? We were not the first ones here. The animals were here first. They're the ones that prepared what gave us what we got here today. And we must always remember that. And so when an animal provides itself, that's a gift. We look at things differently, but I hope that eventually we get a better understanding of who we are, where we belong, and why we're here. Thank you. At this time, I ask you all rise. We're going to honor doing a flag song for all of our flags here we have today.
Hi, hi.
Thank you all. That ends my part.
So now we have a message from Senator Tester.
Thank you. Well, let's see, that looks about best. Hi, I'm Deborah Franson. I am Senator John Tester's Regional Director here in Missoula, and he asked me to bring this message. Hello, and thank you for inviting me to share a few words with you today. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you in person. I'm very happy to see that Missoula County is taking the steps to recognize its history by including the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes flag in this meeting room. This recognition that Missoula County rests on the ancestral homelands of the Bitterroot Salish, Kootenai, and Penderay acknowledges that Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes and the other tribes across the state are a critical part of Montana's history and culture. And the inclusion of two pieces by Jaune Smith shows that Native communities continue to push Montana's culture into the future. Her work reminds us of the mistreatment Native Americans face, not only from the U.S. government, but from American society as a whole. And the pieces in this room will help the folks who meet here keep that complicated history in mind as they work to bring Missoula County into the future. Jaune is one of our state's most talented and most respected artists, and it's an honor for Missoula County to have this installation. Thank you again for inviting me to speak. Sincerely, Senator John Tester. Thank you.
Message from Senator Daines.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I have a message from Senator Daines. Dear friends, thank you for inviting me to be a part of today's ceremony and allowing me to share a few words. I want to thank Missoula County and the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes for building a strong relationship that makes today's events possible. It is an honor to serve as your United States Senator and to work with Montana's tribal nations in Congress. As a member of the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs, upholding our government-to-government relationship and ensuring that the United States fulfills its fiduciary trust responsibilities to Indian tribes is my priority. Today, we honor the historic relationship between the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes and Missoula County. The recognition of the tribe here in the Commissioner's public hearing room and the continued support and friendship offered between Missoula County and the tribe is a testament to one of our values as Montanans of building strong communities. This flag will serve as an important reminder of the importance of this long-standing relationship for many years. Again, thank you for inviting me to join you, and congratulations on today's flag and artwork dedication. It is an honor to serve you in the U.S. Senate, and if I can ever be of assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out. Sincerely, Steve Daines, United States Senator.
Hi, I'm Juanita Vero, Commissioner, and part of why we're here today is also to celebrate art in a public place. And why is that important? It's because art can move us and connect us to each other. And it's been said that human beings are wired to connect, and in a world where it's increasingly difficult to connect, art can reflect and reveal who we are at the level that, that we're designed to. Art helps us understand our history, and it can help nurture an attachment to a place and help develop social cohesion. So Missoula County is incredibly proud and honored to display Jaune pieces, tribe and community over there, and then to the east, nature medicine. So I hope you guys get a chance to take a look at them, because these are complex, strong pieces, and we're really honored to be able to display them here. With that, I'm really pleased to introduce Missoula Executive Director of the Missoula Art Museum, Laura Millen. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Okay. MAM is honored to be a part of this dedication ceremony. We acknowledge that the museum sits on ancestral territories of the Salish and Pend Oreille peoples, and we respect the indigenous stewards of this land. We acknowledge their rich cultures as fundamental to artistic life in Montana and to the work of MAM. Jaune Quick-to-See-Smith is very proud to have her work hanging here in the Sophie Maurice Room and to be part of this dedication today. Tribe and community are fundamentals in Jaune Quick-to-See's work and her activism. Her worldview is to give back. She calls herself an art worker and uses humor and satire to examine stereotypes and realities of American Indian life in contrast to the consumerist American society. Her roots continue to reach deep and wide in Montana soil, even though she has lived and worked in New Mexico for the past 30 years. As an enrolled member of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes of the Flathead Nation, she frequently visits Montana. She has maintained professional connections and built a base of support for arts on the Flathead Reservation at SKC and at MAM. In the early 1990s, Jaune began to contribute her own work to MAM's collection. Her first gift was a promise of a print from each suite she created, each suite of prints, that is. In exchange, she asked for a commitment from the museum to collect additional works by contemporary Native American artists. The museum eagerly accepted the challenge and began to acquire work from other artists. Now, MAM has one of the largest collections of contemporary Native American art in the United States, which includes 45 of Smith's paintings and prints, and over 200 artworks by other Native artists. We also have a dedicated gallery at MAM, so please come visit. We are free of admission and welcome you. The subjects of this suite of prints, called Survival Series, Nature, Medicine, and Tribal Community. There are two others, Wisdom, Knowledge, and Humor, which are not on view. They represent models that have given Indigenous people resilience, allowing them to survive in the severe disruption brought on by colonialism. Released in 1996, this is now recognized as one of the most important graphic works created by Jaune. Survival is in many collections around the US and in Europe, including MAM. Joy Harjo of the Muskogee Nation, now our US Poet Laureate, wrote, quote, Jaune Quick-to-See-Smith serves tribal cultures and the evolving culture of America with her artwork of transformative questioning and humorous questing. She reminds us all that we have a part in this story of creation, a story that is ongoing and inclusive, a story we are becoming together. Thank you.
So again, thanks to all of our guests who've joined us here today, be that the CSKT Tribal Council, Chairwoman Fayant, my colleagues on the Missoula County Commission, and all of our friends and neighbors who have taken time out of their day to celebrate what I think is a very good day in Missoula County. There's an old 19th century benediction that seems worth saying at an event like this, given the themes that we've heard today. It goes something like this. Life is short, and there is too little time to gladden the hearts of those who walk the way with us. So be swift to love, make haste to be kind. You've heard the themes of stories today, whether it's in the artwork that you've heard described or the words of Tony, talking about the stories that we share, the stories that reach back into all of our pasts. I would contend that today we are writing one of those stories. This is a symbol that we are installing and dedicating today, but it is much more than that. It is a piece of the fabric of a story that I hope will continue to go on here in Missoula County and really be the framework for hopefully stories in the 55 other counties in the state of Montana who might also think about their past and think about their future and the relationships that they need to respect and honor and nurture with sovereign nations across the state. A little bit of a teaser. If you ever come to the Missoula County Fair this summer, if all goes well, you will be in for even more of a treat than what I think you might have experienced last year by way of seeing some of our renovations. We will be dedicating a historic plaza at the Missoula County Fairgrounds, and in that plaza, we will be displaying and dedicating the tribal flags of all the tribal nations in the state of Montana. So stay tuned for that. And before you leave, feel free to linger, view the artwork, share some stories with one another, share some refreshments in the back. And again, to the Veterans Warrior Society, to the drum group, to our elders, to Tony Incashola, the Culture Committee, to our tribal council friends, and to the tribal chairwoman. Thank you so much, and have a very safe trip returning home to wherever you came from, and have a great day. Thank you.
We got one more song to close everything out.
And before everyone leaves, can we get a round of applause for Sarah Bell with Missoula County, who helped organize this whole event?
There's always a true boss somewhere.
Thank you, everyone.